So now first see that, as I already told you, that it is a backbone of IPM, or keystone, means very important step in IPM, the decision making. Decision making in the sense, we have one separate class also, that whenever you are going to apply the pesticide or going to apply any control measure, whether there is sufficient level of damage or not, and whether application of pesticide, whatever cost you will be adding into that, it will justify the control measure cost, means value of that produce that you will be saving. Okay, and it indicates actual course of action to be taken in given pest situation or given disease situation. What is the course of action? What is the course of action? It is action plan, means answer to when. First we should be why. Why means pest population is higher than the considered EPA level or lower than. So that is justification for why. When means time. When population is above ETL and when below ETL. Okay. Then where. Okay. When also stage of crop also. Above ETL is also one thing, but stage of crop. Whether that crop stage is very susceptible or vulnerable to the pest damage or disease damage, based on that. Then where. Where means whether it is only small farmer field level, area wide, means just like outbreak of any pest nationwide, just like COVID was, entire world was affected, means it was pandemic disease, you know, pandemics, endemics, epidemics, like that. So where means whether it is a small area, means maybe individual farmer level or maybe district level or maybe country level or maybe area one, means large area, is it not? Then how? How means what are the pest control methods you will be using? Among different methods like tactics, culturally managing, seed treatment, biological control agents you will be using, or directly spray, like that. Is it not? So answers to this, that course of action means how to do, when to do, where to do, what to do. Is it not? So this is like that. And this study of economic decision levels first time given by the concept D.L. Chant in 1966, and he termed this entire study as a bionomics. You know, bionomics you might have in pathology and entomology, you have heard these terms. Bionomics means changing pest and disease situation, and according to that how we can go for management action. So study of this economic decision levels altogether is nothing but the bionomics, and this concept was given by D.L. Chant in 1966. And what it bionomics suggests to you, or what the decision levels indicates, that it indicates sensible pesticide use. Sensible means wise. There is no haphazard, there is no indiscriminate use or intense use. Okay, it should not be there. So wise or sensible use, balanced use of pesticide is possible only with a thorough understanding of population level that will cause economic damage. Unless and until you study thoroughly the population dynamics of insect or disease dynamics of particular pathogen, you will not be able to decide whether application of pesticide is justified or not. Is it not? And that's what bionomics says. According to this Chant, what he argued like that you cannot have sensible or wise or justified use of pesticide applications unless and until you thoroughly understand the population dynamics, when the pest is reaching high, when the pest will be low or moderate conditions, and what will be the level of damage it is causing. And without knowledge of this EDL, means economic decision levels, farmers generally spend more to suppress the insect than the value of commodity pest could destroy. Is it not? My earlier statement was like that BC ratio should be at least equal to 1, or it should be more than 1 preferably. So what happens in case of many farmers, why they are not having economical sustainability with farming? Those who are poor farmers, those who are not literate, or those who are not adopting the higher advanced technologies, They don't know about these concepts, so they spend more to control the pest or diseases than what actually they are getting in return from that activity. And that's why without knowledge of this binomics or knowledge of this EDL, it is not possible to have sensible pesticide use. Getting my point? And that's why if you go by these decision levels or understanding of these EDLs and then go for pesticide applications or any control application, it will definitely increase producer profit. Sorry for this 7, it is and, it should be and. Can you producer profit and conserve environmental quality? I did not have to explain these things. Is it required? How it will increase the producer profit? Who are the producers? Farmers. Growers or farmers. Crop growers or farmers. How ETL or economic decision levels helps producer to increase their profit? How you expect the profit to be increased in your agriculture as an enterprise? If it is an agriculture considered as an enterprise, how it should be profitable, and how ETL or economic decision levels helps you to increase your profit margins. Can you tell me? No?
Spraying more quantity of insecticides causes more cost.
Yes.
Cultivation.
Yes. So reduction in pesticide use. Okay. And in some of my class, I told approximately 50% reduction will be there in pesticide use if you go by these economic decision levels. And so less cost means ultimately profit of margin is more. If you are spending more and getting less, the margin will be less. Okay. And if you are spending less and getting more in return, definitely your margin of profit will be more. That's why application of ETLs will or decision levels will help producers to increase their profit levels. And ultimately reduce pesticide use means environmental quality, means no harm to the non-targets, no human health hazards, no soil microbial biodata will be affected, or no pollution of the environment. It will be there. So ultimately conservation of environmental quality. Generally, how you will express the ETLs or economic threshold levels or economic decision levels? They are generally expressed as a number of insects per plant or per unit area or degree of plant damage. Understood this point or not? If not, then ask me. Shall I need to explain it in more detail? No? Then tell. If no, then tell.
Percentage damage is based on
For example, yes, you are right, but I want to get more from you only. That if you say that 10% green ball infestation, I was telling for pingboron as a ETL, is it not? Green ball infestation by PPW, it is considered as a ETL. So 10% degree of plant damage. How much? 10%. Or in case of numbers, I don't think I have taken any example here. Okay, maybe somewhere else I have taken examples. Or numbers. How numbers? In case of jacid in cotton, 2 jacids per leaf. Okay. So number or degree, extent of damage. 2 jacids. Or in case of white flies, 6 white flies per leaf. Or 10 trips per leaf. These are the ETLs in terms of number per plant or number per unit area or degree of plant damage. Like 10% dead hearts, where we use 10% dead hearts? Can anyone tell me?
Rice.
Yes. Rice, maize, sorghum. Is it not? In sugar cane also. What are these dead hearts? That central growing point is killed by stem borers or shoot flies, and the plant cannot grow more. So that can be pulled easily, the damaged portion. So 10% dead heart. So in case of certain insects, you cannot count the numbers directly. So you have to go for injury equivalents. They are called as injury equivalents in terms of percentage. Okay. Now, who gave this concept for the first time? The concepts of economic injury levels, it is a broad concept, not simply EIL or it is like that. It was given by first time V.M. Stern and his co-workers in 1959. Okay, first time we gave this concept, and this concept involves three major aspects. Economic damage. Economic damage means which damage? At which cost of control measure is equal to the value of produce protected from pest attack or disease damage. Is it not? So that is called economic damage, because below that damage is not economical, because there is no loss actually in terms of monetary terms. Then economic injury level and economic threshold levels. So this all together forms the concept of economic injury levels. It was given by Stern and his co-workers in 1959. And how this concept was evolved, who laid the foundation? He was not the first to give this concept. He gave the concrete idea or clear-cut concept. Definitely his role is more. But somebody has given some foundation, some basic works earlier to that, and he was by W.D. Pierce in 1934 itself. He asked some questions to the scientific communities through one of his arguments he made, because based on his assumptions, based on his experiences with working with insect pest populations, that is all insect attack to be computed as accessible damage? Is it possible? Because small amount of injury, it will neither reflect into the plant loss in terms of yield, nor it will cause you monetary loss. So is it necessary that all damage or all level of disease intensity has to be computed as accessible? Accessible means measurable. Is it that? Not necessary. Then if not, then at what point it becomes accessible? If not all, then there should be some point from where the economic damage starts, and then what is that point? Okay, that has to be worked out. Is control work warranted when damage is below that point? Means if that point onwards economic damage is occurring, so definitely the control is not necessary, not required below that point. So he again asked another question to the scientific committee, and that's why this concept emerged as encouragement for more rational use of pesticides, this ETL concept. Based on these three questions, again he developed full concept of economic injury level. Just see here that this is the time x-axis and this is the number of insects or number of injury equivalent in terms of pest or disease whatsoever maybe nematodes also. So here number when it is increasing with increasing time or increasing season of the crop, then just see here that dotted lines, this damage boundary. This damage boundary means what? Boundary means what? Demarcation line. That above loss is occurring, below no loss is occurring. Okay. So this is the boundary where actually accessible or measurable damage can be. Below that it is not able to, we are not in position to quantify or measure the loss. And that is not treated as at all loss. So it is no loss. Up to here there is no loss. This much population will not cause at all a loss. Okay. But again from this point to here, it is called as a loss. It is a loss, measurable loss, but non-economic. Why? Because control measure cost is not justified with the monetary returns we are getting. Is it not? So no loss, but it is non-economical, and above this is the economic loss. So this is the foundation of decision levels. Okay? How? Because this is the boundary below which we are not able to quantify or measure the loss. Though there is a minute loss, but always we cannot compute it or assess it. That's why it is treated as no loss. Below that, up to here, whatever the pest intensity or disease intensity, it is causing some loss. We are able to measure maybe 0.5%, 1%, 2%. But that is not reflecting into the economic damage. Means what? If 1% damage is there and you are applying 1000 rupees to control, that 1% damage will lead to hardly 100 or 200 rupees loss in the product. That is not justifiable. So that is non-economic loss. But above this, when the loss is going beyond this, that is called economic injury level. Means this is the level at which when pest is not controlled, definitely there is loss, and that is economic loss, major loss to the farmer. So this is the concept. Getting my point? Understand? Try to read these figures only. From here it will be clear. Okay. With the advancement of time or season, how the pest or disease intensity is increasing, and at up to what level it will cause no loss, but that is a boundary between no loss and loss. The boundary is called damage boundary, because here you are able to measure the loss. So damage boundary is the point or the best number or disease intensity at which loss is measurable. Okay. Now this is damage boundary, that definition. Lowest level of injury where damage can be measured. I already told you. Measurable. Demarcation. Shall I need to go again back? Just see the definition. Lowest level of injury means it is the minimum level of injury. Minimum level. Where you are able to measure the loss or damage. That is called damage boundary. Below that, boundary means demarcation line. For one village to another village there is boundary. For one country to another country there is boundary. Boundary is a line, clear cut line from where yes or no, like that. Okay. So understand this damage boundary as the lowest level of injury where damage can be measured. That damage can either be non-economic or economic. That is another issue to differentiate between economic loss or non-economic loss. Is it not? But this is the where you can measure the injury. Just see, this is the injury. Injury is increasing. How it is increasing? Value of produce is increasing. What is the proportion? If the pest intensity is increasing, the value of commodity is also how it is offsetting that point. So value of commodity is higher when pest is low or disease is low. Is it not? So pest is increasing, your value is decreasing. Value of produce protected from pest damage is decreasing. Is it not? So in that way, here this point up to this point, just see, I should not mark it as, but just see this is like this and dotted lines. This is maximum yield. Maximum yield means what? If your crop is totally free from pest or disease, you will be getting maximum value from your produce. Means 4 quintals you are getting, 4 quintal into 5,000 per quintal, maybe 20,000 will be the maximum value. Maybe whatever maximum yield and again converted into value in monetary, that is maximum you will be getting in absence of pest or disease. Dotted line. But as the pest is there or disease is there, it is increasing, how value is shifting down, is it not? And this point is called as measurable loss, measurable damage boundary. Okay, this is called as damage boundary. This is dotted line that with what we have drawn here. It is damage boundary. This point is called as damage boundary because below this loss is not measurable and this point onwards loss is measurable. But again from this point to this point loss is there but non-economic loss. Is it not? But economic damage this point onwards. This is called as economic damage. Here onwards loss is more. If you don't apply pesticide, drastic reduction. You just see steep graph is very steep. You know, lag phase, log phase and stationary phase in your graph. In pathology also it is very common in microbial growth. S-shape curve is there. Is it not? So whenever there is this steepness is there, steepness is here. Okay. Here also loss is slow, here again loss is slow, but here very steep. Slight change in pest injury lead to higher change in the loss. Okay. So this point is called as economic damage. Just see here. Okay, because from here to here loss is getting declined. Maximum to here is great. Here is non-economic loss. Or it is called, this point is called as damage boundary, means here no loss, here loss. Again, non-economic loss, economic loss. Getting my point? So here this point from here to here, this is called as beginning point of damage is called as damage boundary. Is it not? So this is economic damage. Loss in value is great enough to warrant control action. Economic damage means cost of control measure is equal to value of produce that you are protecting from the pest damage. So here this is the point. This one. Then you should differentiate between injury and damage. They are not similar. What is injury and what is damage? Injury is deleterious effect of pest activity on host physiology. Okay, harmful effect. How it is reflected? Can you tell me?
So economic loss. Product loss.
What?
More product loss due to that.
That is damage, measurable loss. Okay, damage is measurable loss. You can quantify. Means if crop is giving you 10 quintals per hectare and with pest or disease injury it is only 8 quintals, so 2 quintal is the damage, measurable in terms of quantity, yield quantity or quality or aesthetic value, is it not? So that is damage. But injury is basically related to the pest and its activities to the host, and damage is centered on crop, host and its response to injury. So crop, how it will respond? In terms of loss in quality, reduction in quantity, like that, is it not? So injury means what? If plant is attacked by sucking pest, okay, they are causing injury, is it not? So injury means what? They will lead to the chlorosis or yellowing, marginal browning, like that, is it not? And damage is that how that chlorosis or yellowing lead to the reduction in yield. Getting my point? So difference between injury and damage is that injury is related to the pest activity on host and damage is the response of host to that pest injury in terms of quantifiable or measurable loss of host utility. Okay. Clear? Now another concept, another terminology with this concept, we have not yet reached to ETL and EIL. It is at very last. How that has evolved, what are the related terminologies? So another terminology is called as gain threshold or tolerable loss. I already told you in some other terms that PC ratio should be 1 and it is seen here. Here are calculations also, we will see side by side. So gain threshold or tolerable loss. Now you might have understood why I told or taught you the principles of IPM first. Okay, the tolerance of pest damage, leaving pest residue, BC ratio and all. So that make you more clear here about this concept that gain threshold means beginning point of economic damage. Again I am coming about beginning point of economic damage. So economic damage, this point is called as gain threshold. This point, it is beginning point from where onwards the economic loss is occurring, and as the definition says beginning point of economic damage, then definitely how it has to be calculated, that cost of control measured in rupees per hectare divided by market value of that produce. Means there how much is the difference, is it not? Means it indicates how much loss can be tolerated. Below that it can be tolerated, above that it cannot be. Okay, means economic damage occurs when money required to control pest is equal to the potential monetary loss from the pest. Is it not? Denotes the quantity of produce that must be saved per hectare. You have to save that much quantity of produce in terms of quintals per hectare. How much produce per hectare that has to be saved for pest control activity to be profitable. Okay, so for example, your cost of control measure for throughout season controlling pin bollworm in cotton is 8,278 rupees, and you know that market value of cotton in rupees in quintal is presently 5,726. So how much it is coming? 1.45 means this much quintal of cotton at least to be saved for spraying. Otherwise, you just see 1.45 into 5,726. This much quintal, and per quintal value is this. Just multiply how much it is coming. 8,278. Means unless and until this much quantity is lost, if you are not spraying, then only it is economic damage. Below that it is 1 quintal is not economic damage. As per this this means this much quantity based on market value. If market value is less, definitely the tolerable damage will be higher. Okay, getting my point here? That gain threshold means the beginning point of economic damage from where the loss is occurring, and below this no need to worry, but above this we have to be cautious for pest control. So here just rupees will be cancelled, so quintal per hectare will be the unit for gain threshold, because cost will be in rupees per hectare and market value is rupees per quintal, or maybe tons, whatever may be, in terms whatever you can use as per your convenience the units. In case of sugar, then it must be tons, not quintals, because higher like that. So that wise you can use. Okay. Now coming to the actual economic injury. What exactly it is? It is the lowest number of insects or lowest pest population that will cause economic damage. Economic damage point where the cost is justified. So this is the lowest level of pest population from where the economic damage is expected. Lowest means the insize, don't think that the lowest means here, somewhere here, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0 like that, 6, 7 up to 10. For example, this is the number and this is the lowest level. Means in terms of economic damage, this should be lowest. Lowest in the sense not this much. Lowest that will cause economic damage. Here non-economic loss, here no loss. Is it not? So this is the lowest number. 5 is the lowest number from where the economic damage is started or economic damage happens, and that's why it is lowest number of insects that will cause economic injury. That is 5 number of insects per plant or per leaf, like that. Is it not? Or at least in other words you can say lowest number of insects that will reduce the yield equal to gain threshold. Gain threshold means where your cost of control is justified. Is it not? So this 5 number of insects are able to reduce the yield equivalent to gain threshold. Is it true? And if you go under field level, it is very difficult practically to measure the injury. Injury is not possible. So index of injury is taken as number of insects or percentage of damage, like that. Injury equivalence, and that is called as injury equivalent or index of injury, because you cannot measure the injury under field condition directly. That's why ETLs are based maximum mostly on number of insects per unit area. So for example, 6 white flies, I already told you, per leaf, 2 jacids per leaf or 10 thrips per leaf in case of cotton sucking pest, or 10% green ball infestation in case of pink bollworm. Likewise, then how we will calculate this economic injury level? Is it that easy? Just sitting in room and we can calculate? No, it requires a lot of experimentation. Continuous 2 years, 2 season data has to be generated, where you just see formula is like that. Again, concepts are same only, that control measure expenditure rupees per hectare is there, divided by P is the market value of produce. Means C by P is nothing but your gain threshold. Are you able to remember?
Yes, sir.
Gain threshold. C by P is your gain threshold. I will give it back to you again so that cost of control measures, C is nothing but cost in rupees per hectare, and market value of produce, P means produce, market value of produce in rupees per quintal. So some formula is again repetitive here in case of ETL calculation, that C and P are common, already gain threshold, into B into K. I will just explain you because this is very critical and you should understand the things. Don't worry, this topic will not be for your quiz, coming quiz. Up to last lecture only it will be covered. But this will be for midterm final theory examination. Very important than any other theoretical things. Just see how economic injury level is calculated. C by P into B into K. Okay. And this formula already you know. What is this?
Drain threshold.
Equal to C by P. So in other words, again rearrangement of this, that GP divided by PV. Okay. Alternatively like this. And C is nothing but cost of control expenditure. P is market value of produce. Now the two terms only new to you are this. What is B? B is a regression coefficient. Forget what P column, that was my calculation. But for any paste, B is the paste coefficient. What is meant by paste coefficient? Paste coefficient is nothing but, do you know regression? How many of you have completed statistics course in your UG? Fundamentals of statistics or elementary statistics, something like that. Is it not?
Yes.
Y is equal to A plus minus BX. Is it not? So Y is your, what is Y and what is X? Can you maintain at least in a
Coordinates.
very good. Independent. And this one is dependent. Y is dependent. So what should be dependent here and what should be independent? Your yield should be Y and X should be paste. Means level of paste intensity, or this is intensity, is independent, and on which dependent is your yield. Okay. Yield is dependent on paste intensity or paste damage. And here why I use this Y equal to A plus minus BX, because relationship can either be Y is equal to A plus BX when there is like slope is like this. Okay, and this can always be negative. ETLs are here like this only. Why? Because paste increasing, yield is decreasing. Is it not? But here fertilizer dose increasing and yield is, so Y is equal to A plus BX. Okay. A is nothing but the intercept. What is intercept? When if you draw this line again here where it crosses the intersection point with y-axis, the regression line, the point at which it crosses the y-axis, it is called as intercept. Intercept means intersection, intercrossing. Is it not? And slope of this line is called as B. B is nothing but slope, and this B is important in your formula. Okay. What this B indicates, if you recall your regression and if you have studied, then now just remember only Y is equal to A minus BX, not plus. Okay, it can be plus or minus depending upon the relationship, but as in case of paste and yield, this is the relationship, then Y is equal to A minus BX. So already you know that A means the point where this regression line intersects with the y-axis, that is your A, and B should always be negative in this case. Why? It is negative only because paste damage is increasing, then yield is decreasing. So negative relationship between two variables, dependent and independent variables, they have negative relationship. If yield is increasing in response to fertilizer, then Y is equal to A plus BX, means relationship between two variables, that is independent and dependent, it is positive relationship. So that's it. Okay. And B is, how B is calculated? B is equal to change in Y divided by change in X. Okay. Am I right or something reverse? Is it okay? नहीं ऐसा तो नहीं इधर x और y, just let we will calculate and check. Change in y, how you will calculate change in y?
You need 2 points we can take.
So change in y1 minus y0.
1 minus
Is it not?
x1
And x1 minus x0 from here. Okay, ratio is slope. That value will give you b. I will check with mobile. Just check it whether y by x or x by y. Long back I studied. I did not get time to recall these things.
y by x, sir. y2 minus
Okay,
y.
I am okay. At least my residual knowledge is working. I didn't get time to, but there may be chance of getting reverse, so we should not excuse for that. Wrong message should not go. Okay. So B is calculated. Means what? You have to have B, and then what is K? So now you understood how B is calculated. That conduct the field experiment and record the pest infestation and also record the yield. With increasing pest, how the yield is decreasing, and feed the regression equation. This equation you have to fit. I will teach you in calculations. Let first complete the theory part. So you can estimate A and B parameters, and then equation will be judged based on the value of R square. You know R square? Regression coefficient. This is regression coefficient and B is pest coefficient or slope of regression line. Slope of regression line are called as pest coefficient B. Means what? Again, it has to be simplified. No? What is regression line? I told you that change in y, mathematically I told you. Change in y by change in x is the value of B, and it is called pest coefficient. But then what exactly it denotes? That it denotes unit change in x, means pest intensity. Any unit change leads to corresponding unit change in y, and that is your B. And that's why how if pest is increasing from 5 to 10, how much yield is reducing from 10 to 8, like that. Getting my point? I cannot be more simpler than this. Okay. So unit change in x leads to unit change, corresponding unit change in y, and this change is denoted by B as change in y divided by change in x. Independent variable is your pest or disease intensity, y is your yield of crop. How yield is reflected in terms of changing pest or disease intensity is nothing but the B. And you have to calculate this B. So ETL is very easy looking at these things. That cost of control measure means how much will be required for pesticide and spraying everything. Market value you know. But for this B, इसके लिए बहुत सारे पापड़ बेलने पड़ेंगे. 2 years field experiment just only for this B. Okay. This control expenditure, purchase the pesticide from market, add the labor cost, add the sprayer charges. Okay, that is okay. है ना बैठे-बैठे कर सकते हैं यहाँ. Market value of produce, get the data from internet or from market committee and office, you will get. But for this B only, entomologist is needed. Where the role of entomologist? Otherwise, anybody layman can do these things. These calculations, the mathematicians or any 10th class student also can do. But without this B, B has a role that how much pest equivalents are responsible for yield loss, and that's why. So the concept has how the pest coefficient is important. Then K is what? Control efficacy of insecticide applied or any insecticide when you spray. Do you think that when spraying is there, 100% insects will be killed? 100% control will be there? In case of fungicide also? How much then? Approximately 60 to 80%. Depending upon environmental conditions, crop response, at what stage you have applied, anything. So basically, usually while mixing, you take it as a 60%. So K value should be 0.6, fraction of it. Cave usually we take it as a 0.6 or 0.8 maybe, based on your crop value and other things you can see how best. If the internal pest is there, in case of pink bollworm I took 6. Why? Because we cannot expect more than 60% control because it is internal feeder, many other issues are there. But in case of surface pest like aphid, just you can take 0.8 also, because control efficacy can be more, direct exposure and killing will be there. So those things are there. For that you need to have certain background. If somebody is having your MSc or PhD research related to this, then definitely we need to read many other things. Why only 60 to 80 and other things, background factors are there. But for this course, that much details are not required. So hope you understood why and how we need to calculate the ATL. Theoretically, practically we will see with an example. But hope you understood this. Your 1 hour is ultimately 4-5 slides only 1 hour is finishing. Then coming to ATL, economic injury you learned. Then ATL, I told you that with time and number of pests, this economic injury is the lowest level of pest where the damage is there. But then whether you will keep mum or keep idle by the time pest reaches this level, no. You have to take action sometime well before the pest or disease intensity reaches ATL. Is it not? So here that point is called as economic threshold. Okay, and it should always be less than economic injury level. Why? Because economic injury level तक pest को जाने ही नहीं देना. We have to restrict the pest from reaching to ATL, EIL, and that point where we have to initiate the action. That's why it is also called as action threshold. Action threshold, why? Because it indicates the time when action, means direct pesticide control measure, has to be taken. That's why it is called as action threshold. And it is the point, sorry, here again typing mistake, point at which we need to initiate pest management. That is called ETL. So ETL is again how it has to be defined, the lowest level of pest population at which control measures should be initiated so that pest can be prevented from reaching ETL. In case you don't spray them, this will be the scenario, dotted line. Getting my point? If you don't take any action here, pest will hypothetically will go like this. But if you initiate action here, pest will be prevented from reaching the ETL and it will be again come down. So ET is the
point at which action should be taken.
So widely used index in making pest management decisions. So we commonly call as ETL, ETL, ETL. So this is the ETL. How it is derived? I am telling you from the beginning itself. That gain, threshold, damage, boundary, injury, equivalence, then economic injury level, and from that only ETL. ETL is the action point. So many non-entomologists or many entomologists not dealing with IPM, dealing with only other things, they will think only ETL, ETL. But how is this ETL? ETL is like this. Okay? Are you clear about this difference between? I may ask you what is the difference between economic injury level and economic threshold level. Okay? So definition is the one difference itself is there. Then economic injury indicates the point of economic damage, but economic threshold indicates the point where action to be taken to avoid economic damage. So economic threshold level is always less than economic injury level. Arbitrarily, generally 75 to 80% of EIL value is taken as ETL. In calculations we will see. Means if your economic injury level is 10, okay, then 75% of it will be 7.5, like that. So this will be the practical value. This is okay, theoretically EIL is there. But we are applying pesticides at 7.5 only. Getting my point? And that's why many people know these things, ATL only. But difference is there. Okay.